Good afternoon. My phone died earlier. I had to put it on the charger, of course. Now it's fully charged. I wanted to show you something. How I do this. I do this all the time at the antique mall. I make keys by hand for wafer locks, and I do this all the time, like I said. And thought I'd show you how I do it. I take it. I put a mark. I mark this right here on top with a marker, and then what I do is I stick this in the blank into the key, and then I take and I make it so that the wafers scratch the marker area, and then I pull it out. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes I do this. I take a pair of pliers and I'll hold it down a little, and I'll hold the wafers down a little gently, not to bend them, and then I'll just move the key in there with the little pressure on the wafers, the blank, and it marks and it wipes off the areas that need to be filed. Next thing I do is I stick it in there again, and I check the height of each wafer here, and that first one does not need to be touched, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth need to be worked on. So I'm going to, the lowest one is the third one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try to figure out where the marks are. It didn't show up very well on here, but I take a triangle file and I notch the key, and then I kind of look to see if it's in there right, and I gotta try to mark that one a little better. Okay, I can see it barely, but I can still see it. I take a triangle file and I notch the markings. Okay, and what I do is I take a round file here and I use the markings and I file them down. I do one at a time, of course. I take it and I stick it in here. Then I continue on. Continue to do it until it's level. Got to get the sharp corner off of there so it can come out easy. Just do a couple more. Okay, that one's pretty much even there. Right on. Now for the second one. doesn't have to be go very far. Like I said, I do this a lot up there at the antique mall for vending machines and other stuff, cabinets and stuff. I'll soon be able to do it with a depth key and make cuts by codes whenever I get those. And that'll be a big help for that. Just a little more on that. Starting to get hard to push in there. That's spot on. I wanted to do some cleaning up on these sharp edges here a little bit. Okay, now for the fourth one. Fourth one don't have to go down too much. This is really the only way I know, the way I do this, because I don't impression locks. I don't like doing impression locks because I'm not good at it. I will admit that I'm not good at that. But when they're like this, where they can come apart, wafer locks, I have no problem. I have no problem doing it with the wafer locks like this. I probably made this one too low. Didn't stop filing long enough, I think. Well, actually, it's right on the fourth one. That was the fifth one I just did, it looks like. Fourth one is not, is right there. Should have did the fourth one on. It's on the fifth one, or on the fourth. Markings didn't line up right for me apparently this time. They're all lined up. The key works. Now I just gotta clean up the sharp points a little bit. I'm gonna use a flat file and do that a little bit, and then to show you that this works, put that in there. Take this here and maybe not. I take this here tension wrench and show you that it's locked up. There's no trickery there. There's no trickery in there. And I put the key in the right way, and it works. Now the original keys I have over here. Now this one has 3 keys. These are the original keys. But I just did this to show you what that one there's the original bitting, the original key. There's the key I made just now. That's how I do it at the mall, at the antique mall. I sometimes do screw up, I will admit that as well. I'm not perfect. I have made cuts deeper than they need to, and had to scrap the key. I just see mistakes as learning experiences, and to better oneself from learning from the mistakes. This was actually a new lock I had in my parts bin. It's actually part of one lock that I have 3 that the key fits, so that's a bonus for if I have to use that one. I can replace the 3 matching with I keep with this ain't going in now. I'll just put it like that. Keep spare parts for that purpose, to use there if I need to at the mall to replace any parts or particular locks. I keep a few cabinet locks on hand if I needed to replace it. If one of the vendors should want to break a lock or break a key off, and I can't get the lock apart like that, or I don't have a blank that fits the lock. Sometimes that's happened. But like I said, I don't impression locks. I am not very good at it. I have tons of padlocks like this one here and several others back in there over there that I would love to be able to impression, but I don't have the patience, I guess, to really do that. But I found that there would be the easy way to do that, to make keys for them particular locks. Some of them locks don't come out, but there's a little trick on some of them though. I have one, but I can't find it. That if you pick it, if it only turns one way, if you pick it back about, if it's straight up and down, say straight up and down, you pick it a little bit back, it'll pull right out. Them wafer locks, on some of them, and I've done that a few times to fix some. When I did that, I can't show it. I put that lock in the. I fixed over in the. I made a key. It is a bathroom lock. I made a key for it. Emergency key, I guess you could call it. I used something I used for, I believe, a tension wrench. One time, a thick bottom of the keyway tension wrench. Skewer, barbecue skewer. It was pretty thick. It wasn't wide. It was thick. It was. I might even have it. Might even have that tension wrench over here. No, I don't. I think I got it in my bag. I had a piece left over. I got a full one right here. Just happened to look at it. Unlike this, I just thinned it down enough to fit in that hole. It was actually like this part right here back. I put heat shrink on it, left the tip of it exposed, and a nice big emergency key to stick it in there and turn it to unlock that lock. But this is what I used. I made a tension wrench out of one of these, and it's pretty thick. I don't recall where I put it. I don't recall why I made it. But I made one that was thick like that. It's heavy duty steel. It's about, I'm gonna say maybe 1/4 inch thick this way. Maybe a little less than 1/4 inch possibly. I did make a lock pick out of a dipstick for oil. That was one of the ones I experimented with. I did make two actually. Lock picks for that, and I believe this was one of them. This was one of them. I made it into something else now. This was dipstick. The dipstick I made, I think I made 3 picks out of it. I tried making a tension wrench out of it, and it broke. It didn't hold up for bending like them wafer inserts did. But I did do that. The dipstick had a thing like this, and it was plastic yellow, had a roll pin stuck in there. I just popped that out and took the handle, took that thing off. I cleaned up my all my pre-cut keys that I would use. They're right here. All kinds of them in here. Got the original Sargents. Got tons of them. Got like a master key system there. I got all kinds of. I kept all the ones I wanted. Got warded lock keys like this one here. This is from a Slaymaker. I got I put all these keys in here, and I probably would never use any of them for anything. But I got Master Lock M1s, all kinds of them there, M1s and M2s in this thing. Got some variety of National Lock and Yale 11s in here. More over in here. Not sure what I got in this thing. I think this is empty. Oh, I got suitcase keys in there. Different suitcases and briefcases. All different ones, and I got a few other ones like lawnmower keys. I think I put keys in here too. Got my automotive keys right here. All kinds of them. I got one even in here that goes to a, I believe, a Model T. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there was one that went to a Model T in here. I can't remember exactly, but I would have to go through all the Ford ones and look. I might as well do that now, I guess. I actually could do that, I guess. But I got tons of them in here. I'm gonna have to look. Perhaps this is it here. There's an old Ford one here. I got a lot of GMs in here. There's a old Lincoln. I believe that's the Lincoln or Mercury. One of them. I got bags of them in here. For now, they are just tryout keys. I don't know why I kept this one. This one's all bent, twisted and bent. It goes in there. Goes in there. Here's one for a Studebaker. I don't know if you could see it. It says that in there. If I come on, focus. Studebaker. Yeah, like I said, I think I got one for maybe it was this one I was thinking of. I thought I had one for a Model T. There's the Studebaker one. I would have to pull all these out and look into the Ford ones and that, but I just thought I'd show that. At least I showed you one old one. This is for a Yamaha something. Got Chrysler, GM, and all kinds in there. Anyway, it's overfilling. I'm gonna have to transfer these to something bigger. And I think I just found a purpose for one of these blue boxes by doing that. So I'm gonna just let the camera go, I guess, and go through them and see what happens. They'll probably all fall on the floor. Just separate them, names. Goofy ones like this here, I put in their own pile. They're pretty much just, right now, they're just pretty much tryout keys, I guess you could say, for older cars. Tons of Ford ones. And Chrysler mostly. GM, of course. A Ford one. Might be able to turn that into a. No, it's got that low cut. They have high cuts on them that can be used for making more keys work for lower cuts, I found. Oh, that's the wrong pile. That's the wrong pile for that one. Here's that's a GM. I thought it was something. Got two of these here. These are, I believe, Lincoln or Mercury. They're different ones of that. Another one of them. Here it is. This is for an old Ford. It's got that. I don't know exactly what that's for. The Ford, what kind of Ford it's for, but it's got this. Looks like that. I'm guessing it's a real old one. Here's another Ford one that looks kind of old. This is for a Ford Falcon. It's got it says Falcon on the back. This is for a Caterpillar. A Yamaha one. Ford. Chrysler. GM. GM. Chevy. Nose. Yeah, Kia. Not sure exactly what this is, but it's a Ford, I believe. And I could probably turn that into a. That's almost like a blank. I guess I can maybe turn that one into a working key. There's another one of them Ford ones. It's not marked, but it's got it's kind of the same style. This one here is kind of bent. Yeah, that's going in there. GM. Ford. GM. Ford. Okay. These are all the miscellaneous ones that have other names than Big Three. Here's all my Ford ones. I could swear, I can't swear to it, but I thought I had one that said Model T on it, but I could be wrong. Maybe I think it was that Studebaker one. I was thinking I had an old one. I knew I had an old one, and I think it was that one. I think that was what it was. For some reason, I'm thinking Model T. I don't know why. There's an old one there. Maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one for it. This is an old Ford one. I imagine this is the one that I'm probably guessing this would probably go to a Model T, as I don't recall ever seeing a Ford keys look like that. And it's flat. Maybe it's a gas cap key or something, but sure an old one. Sure is an older one. thing about that box though, I can't put it in my drawer. Got tons more here. Ford. This is GM. 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 These are interesting looking ones here. I'm not quite sure on those. There's two of the same though. This one here says GM. Almost lost all those. They're in the Chrysler. I'm gonna put them in there. I'm thinking these are two Mazda. They're from Mazda. They go in the other bag. These are the GM. I just picked them up. I'd say that one there can go in the scrap. I just when I buy keys over when I buy keys by the bunches or somebody gives me a bunch, they always have some cars in it, car keys, and I always separate them because you never know if one would work for a newer vehicle as a, you know, like an emergency type key. Something that can't use an ignition though, because that would be actually a this is an advertisement one for Chevy. It would actually cause a lot of damage to use a key like this in the ignition. It cost, if I'm not mistaken, about $1,000 to fix it from the dealer. Another old Ford one. This one here says HU and then I can only see the RD, so I don't know. It's got like a what looks like a airplane on it. It's a Ford though. I can't read the whole thing. Chrysler. sitting here looking at all these and I'm wondering what they are, and they go in here. That one there is kind of too much. Got another advertisement key here, looks like. Missing the sticker. It's actually a blank. I'm gonna put it in there with that. That there's kind of over. I can polish up some of these, but some of them are beyond polishing up. Okay, I got all of them out. And I see some sitting down here on the table. Yep, I don't do auto locksmithing, locksmithing, but I do have tryout keys and a pick kit and Slim Jims and all that good stuff for the basic lockout if I wanted to attempt it. And most of my attempts at that, the Slim Jims and lock picket on the have failed. Usually have failed. I don't make auto keys. Found that to be quite an expensive adventure there, so I don't do it. Well, I'm gonna have to use both of them boxes because I can't get them ones in there. I did gain that. Find that place for these since they don't fit in the drawer. I have some down here on that. Did I show you my knives? My package opening knives. I got this big guy here. Got this guy too. He has actually has two blades on it. And I got this guy here. I think that's the biggest. Maybe that's one of the. I think that's the single biggest single blade I got. Maybe not. Maybe this is it. This is the biggest one I got here. Got a few more here. I don't like messing with these ones. I mean, opening all the blades up. There's the sheep's foot. That's the trapper blade. And I'm not sure, I can't recall what the name of that one was. This one here's got 4 blades on it. There's a big sheep's foot. And then there's another style of that. And then it's got another blade there. I believe this is a trapper blade here. And then I got these are the trapper blades here. Right there. This is a trap blade here. Yep, you'll see me opening packages with those at some point when I get packages. Well, I could go all out and get a sword and try to hack the thing open, but I probably would damage whatever was in the bag, in the package, doing that. Still looking for a lock that I can use these keys for. These are the M1s that I have that are both the same. They have the old master locks with the lions on them. Still looking to find one that I can easily use that for. I don't think they would work on anything other than anything less than one of these kind here. I'd be surprised if this works, but no luck. Didn't work. That's a hole. Ten after 5. I think I'm gonna stop the video now, and so I can head in and see how far I'm gonna is. I also have watchman's keys. These I don't think I ever showed these. These are watchman's keys for watchman's boxes. These here. They have numbers on the biddings. The biddings are all the same, but I don't know if you can see there's a number on here. I can't even see it. It's like a typewriter. It goes in the box, you turn it, and it stamps that number onto the time card. Not sure if you can see the number there briefly there. There it goes. These are I only have 3 of them. Paid the $3 a piece for them at the mall, at the antique mall. Then I got these ones in. I guess these are decorative. Got a lot of decorative keys here and there. Got some up there too. Some over there. Them things there weigh about 10 pounds, I think. Got this one here. Don't know if these are functioning key, if this is a functioning key or not, but this is pretty neat. And I got this one down here. Got a few on my door too. I got all kinds of padlocks in my collection there and there. Had to place a bunch of these on or pick up a bunch of these at the Had to pick them and so they could be replaced at the antique mall there. The funny story is, and this is the one that I kept them all, but this is the one I put up in my collection. I put the other one in my parts box for parts. But when the guy that owns the mall, he's a friend, he went to move the display cabinet, and what had happened was this is how it goes. It goes down into the shelf. This part right here goes down into the shelf, and when he picked and moved it so I could get to this one to pick open, it was the last one, the door just come open, and so I kept that one up there in my collection because of that. I thought that was kind of an interesting story. This is one that I got from from the second school course I took. No, not the second. The third, actually. It's a cutaway, and what I had to do was I had to make two keys, or make a key that fitted by impressioning it. Well, I did not fare well on that one. They work, but they're stiff. They work stiffly, and the ones I did, sure, I had this here key machine. I could have just copied it and said nothing, but I'm not a cheater like that, so I did my best with those and managed to get a 95 on it, because they were a little stiff. They weren't cut just right, but they worked. So that's when I gave up on that idea to do that. Doing that, I got my older padlocks up there on there, some combination ones and whatnot. I got various other ones up here too. This is one of my marble animals I got. I got some of my other collectible stuff out here to spiffy this place up a little bit with some of my other stuff, some of my collectibles. The pocket knives represent the swords and knives, and that represents the marble. And I got some more marble stuff back there, but can't get to it because of all this stuff in the way. This room is a little smaller than I wanted. Like I said, I think I said this before, I wanted a 10 by 10 building off the back of the property over there, or behind this building, and my dad let me have an 8 by 10, or not 8 by 10, but 8 by 9 section of his shop, and we built this interior and the exterior, and I think I showed the exterior, but I'm gonna show it again for the new guys that haven't seen it. I'm sure they've seen it though, but on the previous videos. But it looks like this. It looks like a little building inside of a building. It's got the phony bricks. This is paneling. This is actual vinyl siding. These are actually shingles up here. And I got a window, of course, and then all the way across there. And then solid wood door. I fell in love with this door at a garage sale. It's solid wood. And I managed to get it for, I think, $5 or $10. I can't remember which. and I put a double deadbolt on here. Something I recommend. I put it backwards because in case this were to break or something, I can just pull this out and still open the door from this side rather than trying to break the glass, which is why I recommend double deadbolts on glass doors, or window doors. If the window is up in like up here or going across like that, I think it would be safe. I don't think anybody could reach down too well. But when you got a glass door like this, glass window here and here, I would say put a double deadbolt on it to protect the only one drawback to it though is, you know, it works with the key on the outside here, and the only thing is you don't have the thumb turn to use on the inside. You have to use your key to lock and unlock if you wanted to lock it up from the inside. That's the only drawback on those. Got a mailbox I put up here, make it look like a house. Been making picks quite a bit, and as you can see, it's almost time for me to get a new buffing wheel. This is though the first grinding wheel that came with the machine, and I have about three of them, three new ones. So I've gone through 4 buffing wheels, and I still got 3 of these. I will one day change that, but I want to finish up making some more of the shortwave lock picks and more other lock picks, because this being curved and that makes for nice shapes. And after probably at the end of the year, I'll be taking that off, putting a new one on, and then I'll have to start over, work on getting the edges on the new ones rounded over and that, and make more picks and stuff. I keep pins over here, and as you've seen in I believe it was Pick Me's videos, you've seen the small spools. These were actually something I ordered from one of the companies in which I order from. These are these small ones. I believe I used the smallest of them for that lock I did for that one lock. But these are really small. These are for standard locks though, and these are the smallest ones, like 3 small sizes. Don't know if these are spools or not up here. I keep some extra top pins in there. Those are the spools I got. And I have the American, and I have security pins here. I've used these quite a few times. High security pinning kit. I got different sizes. I gotta get some more of these, and I gotta get some more of these, and some more of these, but when I usually do them, I usually use like these here on the spools. These mostly on these as threaded pins. Have a few T-pins somewhere. I had a few T-pins in here. It must not have any more in there. These are the bump halt ones. This is for the mortise and rim cylinder. This is the spring. If it will focus for me, I can show you that this spring is actually thicker than to prevent lock bumping. I do believe I put one of these in a challenge lock. I can't remember who I sent it to. These are the I even took one of these pins for it, cut it down and made a T-pin out of it for that particular chamber, because these are almost like really long T-pins. But this shaft goes up into the springs. There's the ones for the knob and lever cylinders are different. The springs are a little bit shorter, and so are those pins. I had to buy a bunch of those. I did put some in some locks that refurbished. I even put one in the I put one in my knob over here in the shop. But they recommend putting them in the second to last or very last chamber, because, and I'll show you, it's been a while. I mean, I've been using it quite a bit lately, but might still do it with the key. And you'll see why they recommend it in one of the last two chambers. I put it in the last chamber. But okay, and if you listen carefully, I got the key in almost all the way except for the last one. You'll hear a click. That's that spring pushing that pin. That's that pin. I don't recall if I put any in here though. I don't remember. No, I didn't put one in here. But see how easy that there goes in there. And then when you get to this one down here, it snaps in like that's what that bump halt pin and spring is. Makes it harder. Anyway, it's been an hour almost on the video here. I think I'll run out of things to say and whatnot. I think I showed this. I got a bunch more lockpick material there. I gotta order more shrink wrap or shrink tubing to make more. I'm gonna order a bunch of different colors, 10-foot length ones, and I think there's like 7 or 8 colors I'm gonna get. I think they will fit. I think it'll fit on this stuff. Not sure. It's 5/8 shrink wrap, 3:1 shrink ratio. I believe. I don't know exactly how big this stuff is, if it'll work or not. I could look and see what the roll is I got back in here. See what size it is. This is probably about the same size. This actually is I believe this is 2-in-1. Yeah, this is 2-in-1, 2-to-1 ratio shrink. Goes from 1/4 to 1/8 inch. I imagine 5/8 is probably bigger than that. Might be too big. I might have to go with something. Try to find something smaller. I was gonna get the 10-foot rolls. I'll probably have to get shorter rolls with the right smaller size, I guess. I did find out that all of these are SC 9s and 8s. These ones here, so I can't use them in any locks for rekeying because of that. I don't have any of them particular kind of locks, but I have some if I ever need them. Free cuts. They are the 6-pin SC9s. Did find my scanner antenna that I had bought for my scanner, and my dad was supposed to have put it up at one point and never did. It's brand new in the package. I don't know where the wire went to or the adapter, but it goes on this. Take this antenna here off and it attaches onto that. I'm thinking about maybe if I ever come across the wire, I might have him hook it up so where I can use that out here. So I do have another one in the house in the basement for when the weather's bad. I can listen to the radio there. And my phone, actually, I got it set up for a scanner too. This phone here, an app that I pay 99 cents, I think, a month for. Well, I think I'm gonna sign off on that. Because it's getting 5:30, and I'm sure they want to close up the sale. I gotta help close up the sale. There was a big old hole in the. Had to run a wire in one of the rooms in the house that actually was quite big. It was probably about half-inch, quarter-inch, maybe more like a half or bigger. Anyway, the walls were pink, and I actually got lucky to find, and this is matched perfectly. I covered up the hole with some pink duct tape. It worked beautifully. You can't even, unless you got up real close on there to see it, you couldn't tell that there was tape over that hole. So duct tape will fill up holes pretty well, or cover up holes. I got in the basement. I got a big old scratch on my wall, and I took a piece of the green duct tape, and that actually worked to cover that up. And actually it was scratched because of a table I had down there, and I got it up there still, and the table's right up against it, and it seems to be protecting it pretty well. But like I said, if you get up on the if you get up on the thing and look at it, you can see that there's tape there, but it from a distance it doesn't matter. You can't tell, which I thought was cool. What I did was looking at the store, I seen that there, and one week, and then the next, I took a picture of the wall with my phone with the flash on there and with the flash off, and compared side by side to that tape, and it was so close. It was very, very close to that color of that tape, both pictures. I'd shine the light on it and whatnot. It was just shinier, but where it was put at the bottom near the baseboard, you can't tell it's covering up a hole. It's even actually wrapped around the wire a little bit too, to cover that wire up a little. I thought about covering the whole wire up on the wall, but then there'd be a big old hump in the wall there. Anyway, I think I'm gonna let things go. I did fix that. I did actually fix that lock I had earlier, and works. And I thought I'd show this. I just now remembered about this. I actually have the key to happiness here. I also have the key to the nut house. And I also have key to the doghouse. Key to, well, that there. These are, I thought, were cool. Find these. And there's one for the county jail. And there's one to the ladies' room. These were all on like a bracelet here. I think these are charms for bracelets, but they look like actual keys. Thought that was pretty neat though. There's one to the key to the poorhouse. And they got bidding on it like a key, regular key. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I'm being called on the phone here. Looks like. There's the key to Fort Knox. Side door. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care. Have a great, hopefully your weekend was great, and hopefully you have a great week ahead. I will probably do another video in the next day or two. I don't know. Anyway, thank you again.